They call it a miracle of nature, a pilgrimage of shimmering stained-glass wings, guided by some invisible, genetic compass across continents. 4,000 miles, Mexico to Canada, a breathtaking, multi-generational journey of faith and instinct. But we know better. The whispers and the milkweed patches tell a different tale, a tale of colossal miscalculations, a conspiracy of the chrysalis. Tonight, we aren't talking about the flutter of freedom. We're talking about the Monarch Mayhem. They say every monarch butterfly knows its way. They say the great-grandchildren, who have never seen the ancestral home, will somehow, inexplicably, find it. But what happens when the map that perfect, inherited script gets redacted? When the sun, their celestial guide, plays tricks in a sky choked with unnatural haze. We've all seen the documentaries, the beautiful clusters, the orange confetti in the breeze. It's a lie. Look closer. See the frantic, erratic spirals. See the wings, frayed not by travel but by panic. This isn't navigation. It's a terrifying, beautiful desperation. And this year, something has gone catastrophically, deliciously wrong. The butterflies are flying, but they are not migrating. They are wandering, and the final destination is no longer home. It's here. It's everywhere. The clock starts in the Oyamal fir forests of central Mexico. Imagine it, a sanctuary, dark and dripping, where millions of ancestors cling together, a silent living curtain of orange and black against the mossy bark. They hang there, waiting for the signal to ascend, like forgotten ornaments on a cosmic Christmas tree. It should be a place of reverence. Instead, it feels like an assembly point for the damned. We intercepted the final, chilling transmission from one of the entomologists stationed there. His name was Dr. Silas Thorne. His notes were fragmented, scrawled in the margins of his field journal, the pupae not right, the stripes shifting. They looked confused, even in their sleep. Silas, bless his academic heart, thought it was a new strain of viral infection. We know better. The new generation was emerging, and they were lost before they took flight. It's the butterfly equivalent of a road trip where the GPS is stuck on recalculating for 4 generations. A terrifying thought, isn't it? To be born with the burning, inexplicable urge to go somewhere, anywhere but with a map that leads you directly into a shopping mall parking lot. The first sign of the great systemic failure was the direction of travel. Normally, a resolute push north. This year, they fanned out. East, west, southwest. Some were last spotted near a surprisingly popular Waffle House in coastal Georgia. Others simply circled a suspiciously large water tower in rural Pennsylvania for 3 days, like they were waiting for it to give a sign. Silas called this behavior the Great Disorientation. I call it a magnificent display of metamorphic bewilderment. The beauty, the grandeur, the sheer volume of their flight and all of it pointed with unwavering certainty in the wrong direction. The horror isn't in what they're escaping, it's in the horrifying realization that there is nowhere left for them to go. They are the map, and the map has been corrupted. It's a tragedy, really, a beautiful, fluttering, slightly silly tragedy. Now, let's talk about the source of the glitch. It's too simple to blame the climate, the pesticides, or the general decline of polite society. No, this required a surgical strike, a data wipe at the cellular level. Remember that celestial compass I mentioned? It's S-driven by a complex time-compensated mechanism, a kind of biological Swiss watch that uses the angle of the sun and the Earth's magnetic field to triangulate their position. But the monarchs, clever little things, also rely on their antennae to sniff out the pheromones left by the previous generations. Think of it as a 4,000-mile-long breadcrumb trail. And that, my friends, is where the mayhem began. There are rumors, whispers in the dark corners of the internet. The ones that do talk about cats or cooking about a new form of genetically engineered milkweed, a superweed designed to be pesticide-resistant, faster-growing, and far more potent. It was meant to save the monarchs. Oh, the irony. Instead, this frankenflora produced a nectar with a subtle, insidious side effect. It chemically scrambled the pheromones. Imagine reading an entire library, only to discover every single book has had its pages randomly shuffled. The ancient centrale of their grandmothers didn't lead them to the next feeding stop. It led them directly to the nearest brightly colored object. A child's inflatable pool. A gas station sign. A particularly garish mailbox. We call this the lure of the luminescent, a pathetic, doomed detour driven by flawed data. This is where the story stops being a gentle nature documentary and starts being a terrifying B-movie with surprisingly good cinematography. The lost monarchs, driven by an outdated and corrupted internal map, are doing something unprecedented. They're not just flying northwest, they are flying inward. Drawn to the dense, glittering confusion of human civilization. Driven by instinct, they are searching for the familiar, and mistaking the glow of city lights for the massive, reflective surface of their distant winter home. The horror isn't their death, it's their misguided faith. They are massing now, not in the quiet, isolated forests, but over our cities. Above the interstate highways, clinging to the glass towers of our financial districts, a beautiful, terrible, orange cloud, buzzing with purpose, but possessing no actual direction. It's a spectacular failure of instinct, framed against the twilight sky, and the subtle dark joke in all of this. The clever bit. We engineered the convenience, the speed, the connectivity of the modern world. We eliminated the wilderness and filled it with concrete and screens. And now, the Monarchs, nature's most resilient navigators, are simply following the strongest signal they can find. They're not lost, they're home, our home, and they've brought their chaotic, fluttering confusion with them. So next time you see that bright orange wing fluttering aimlessly against the windowpane, remember this: the map is gone, the journey is over, and the Monarchs are now simply waiting for their new instructions. If the thought of 4 generations of butterflies flying on a corrupted compass chills you to the core, then the real-life disappearance of the Monarch is a true horror story waiting to unfold. Don't let this be just a haunting piece of fiction. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications for more tales from the natural world's dark side. And most importantly, check the description below. We've linked reputable organizations fighting to restore the true monarch migratory path by planting native milkweed, the only food source for the hungry, mape-eating caterpillars. Knowledge is the first step toward salvation, but action is the only way to redraw the route. Join the vigil, and let's ensure every caterpillar finds its way home before the mayhem becomes irreversible. Fact.